Hello class, this is Dr. Long again. I'm filming this video to give you some further insights into your term paper assignment. Now I know many of you are working on the short essay, and that in fact is due tonight at 11:30 p.m. And part of the purpose of the short essay assignment was to give you some practice writing for the term paper assignment. And I'll be grading your short essay assignment shortly. I will put some comments in D2L. I encourage you to read those comments and to learn from them and take what you learn for the term paper. And certainly if you have any questions, please let me know. Now, your term paper is due again in 2 weeks on Thursday, March 21st at 11:30 p.m. I set that deadline on purpose because it falls in sync with what we're covering in the class, and also I have found over the years that students' grades are typically better if you have a term paper assignment due before spring break than after spring break. So this was intentional. I know there's been a lot of work in the class recently, but this is intentional so that your grades will be higher, and frankly, so you have a better spring break. So you may not like it now, but I hope you'll find benefit from it later. Now, with that being said, that you will need to use the book for the term paper that I talked about earlier in the class and that was on the syllabus. And that book is Zhenru Lin's book, The Silk Road, A Brief History with Documents. And to show you that physically, here it is. This is her book. This is about the Silk Roads. And here it is again. You'll notice that this book is entitled The Silk Roads, A Brief History with Documents. So you will need to read the introduction to this book first and read it very carefully, take notes. It's a well-done introduction. It will give you a better sense of the Silk Roads. And after that, you will need to read some of the corresponding short primary source documents. And I'll talk more about those here in a little bit. So for this, for the book, if you don't have the book, you need to really get it as soon as possible. You should have already had it, but if you don't, you need to order this as soon as possible or you're going to be in real trouble for this. So if that's you, and I hope it's not, please move very quickly. Now, for the term paper, there is a very extensive guideline on D2L to help you for this term paper assignment. I urge you to make use of it, particularly since this is an online class. Please read it very carefully. I've tried to make it as extensive as possible to give you very clear instructions and suggestions on how to write a very good term paper. And when you read it, you will see on the first page of the term paper, it gives the basic requirements for the term paper, the length, the font, all those sort of nuts and bolts things. It is 12-point font, double spaced, 4 to 6 page paper is what I'm looking for. You will also see very quickly on the first page that there are two main topics, two big topics that you will need to choose for this term paper. Please do not do both of those. I'm not asking you to write two term papers. I want you to write one. Choose the one that interests you the most, and you'll notice under each term paper topic there are a series of interrelated, interlocking questions. Depending on which big topic you choose, what you need to go through in either case is to go through and answer all of those interrelated, interlocking questions as part of your term paper. So in a nutshell, your term paper will have an introduction with a thesis statement. It will have a main body in which you go through and systematically answer the questions. And please try to stay in order, or at least don't jump around as you answer them. That makes it easier to read and easier to follow. And as you answer the questions, give specific examples. And then you'll have a conclusion at the end in which you wrap your paper up and refer back to your thesis statement. One of the other requirements for this term paper is, again, that you use a minimum of 4 short primary source documents, and these are all found after the introduction. You'll notice that after each main topic, I give you a select sample from this book of short primary sources that you could use for that topic. So please take advantage of that. That should make it fairly easy for you. And by the way, by assigning one book with an introduction and then some primary sources for you to read, this should make the paper easy. I'm not requiring you to do a lot of research or to look up a lot of things. The book that I've assigned for this pretty much gives you a one-stop shop in order to write the paper. And I hope you find the book very interesting. It deals with a host of civilizations, religions, trade that interact with each other across the Silk Roads, across Europe and Asia. And it's a very fascinating part of early world civilization. So once you have read the guideline, read the introduction, read some primary sources, and you've chosen your topic and ready to go, please go ahead and start working on your term paper. For the citation style, you'll certainly find it useful to cite your sources. You definitely do need to do that, and to quote from your sources when relevant to make a good point. Please use the Turabian citation style, otherwise known as the Chicago style. And if you look on the guideline, I give very extensive instructions on how to use that. The Turabian citation style is the citation style used in the discipline of history. So take a look at that as well. If you have a question about any of this, do let me know. But again, the first place to go is to consult the guideline, as it is pretty extensive. And again, I hope you enjoy this assignment. I hope you find what you read interesting. If you have questions, please let me know. There's about 2 weeks to go, so I would encourage you to begin working on it fairly soon. All right. Well, I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk with you later.